great to see so many of you here today. I'm here as chairman of iCrossing, my word. We've got clients like Barclays, L'Oreal, Marks and Spencer's. Oh, I'm pitching already. Here we go. No, that's very naughty. Thank you to my panelists here today who are kind sponsors of the conference. Let's just kick off by introduce yourself and do a one-liner about your company, Kevin.
My name's Kevin Edwards. I'm the Global Client Strategy Director at Affiliate Window. Affiliate Window is the largest affiliate network. We have a stand here. We've got donuts, so come on, speak to us.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Helen Southgate. I'm the Managing Director at Affiliate. We're one of the largest European affiliate networks. We are celebrating our 20th year in affiliate marketing today. To come to our stand, we have macaroons.
Can you do any
advance
on that? Yeah, Pete.
Well, we have jelly beans, so screw that. Hi everyone, I'm Pete Newman, I'm Commercial Director at Optimize. We're a performance marketing company. We operate globally across every continent, and we optimize any type of media across any type of channel for our clients.
I'm Santi Perini, I'm with Cake, and we focus on the customer journey. So we're a software company that tracks digital marketing spend from first touch to last touch, every step in between, and our goal is to really help optimize return on ad spend.
I'm Sean Sewell, I'm one of the co-founders and VP of Revenue at Performance Horizon, and we're a SaaS performance digital marketing technology business that helps brands manage their digital partners at a more one-to-one level.
Fantastic. A really great range of expertise and disciplines across the panel, which make for a fantastic conversation. I guess we should start off with, why are we all here and what is this thing called performance affiliate today, Helen, would you say? And how is it different from other digital marketing?
So I've been doing performance affiliate or affiliate marketing for 15 years now, and none of my family or my friends still understand what I do, so I'm not sure I explain it very well, so I'll try again. Apparently I do pop-ups and they're really annoying.
So do I.
So the way I always think about affiliate marketing, and I think it's changed a lot in 20 years and still is changing, but it's a microcosm of all different online channels. So within affiliate marketing, you have search, you have display, you have traditional marketing, you have reward activity. So it's all of those. So I think there's an argument to say that it's not really a channel, it's a model, and it's a way of marketing to customers. I think the unique qualities of affiliate marketing traditionally have been particularly the payment model. So it's still one of the few marketing channels or marketing models which is purely a cost per acquisition basis, so paid on performance. That is changing, however. I think there's lots more models coming into the affiliate channel, which I think is important, and I think we'll discuss a lot about that today. I think that's always been a USP. But I think the other great thing about the affiliate model is, there's lots of different channels involved, but it also has touch points across the entire customer journey. So I think, traditionally we've always been known for converting customers and being that kind of end touch point, but affiliate marketing does so much more than that. We know that it touches customers from right at the top of the funnel all the way down to the bottom. So I think it's unique that it has that reach, and we work with literally thousands, hundreds of thousands of different affiliates as well. And it's very much a relationship industry, which I think a lot of people find hard to understand. There's most channels now are all about technology and about data and about automation. But a lot of affiliate marketing is actually about building relationships.
You mean with the clients?
Yeah, well, I think from
with the publishers?
Networks to affiliates, and I think affiliates to consumers as well. They build relationships with their consumers, and I think that's a very unique thing about the affiliate industry.
I think people struggle with that in this age of programmatic. People struggle with the idea that they actually have to really invest in building relationships, and actually that's still an intrinsic part. It's really at the heart, as you say, of our industry, and that's the thing that hopefully people who work within it understand, and they recognise they have to invest in it. And I think that's been potentially one of the barriers in the past.
Because I think they understand it for awareness pieces, don't they, and brand plays, but actually bringing that into the affiliate channel itself is something which doesn't happen very often.
And so trust is a really important thing. Little story, when I first came to the IAB, I danced around all my marketing director colleagues to do this listening project, which became my 100-day review. And one of them was Elizabeth Fagan, who's now at Boots. But at the time, she was at Dixon's group doing PC World, Dixon's, Curry's, and I went in to ask all their senior people, what they were doing so far with digital, expecting search, SEO, display, rich media. The only thing she said they do was affiliate. It's all to do with managing the risk of this unknown digital world, so that they could gain CPA sales on commissions in their mind, like having an extra bunch of salespeople. But that was 12 years ago, and now we've got richer data and measurement. You can go in anywhere in the funnel. It's not just CPAs. So what are the key things that we think have changed over time?
Well, really the merger of all marketing and all digital media. So we all started with affiliate because it was one of the first to come to bear in terms of online digital monetization, but really to understand that it's about a customer journey. And that journey can start with a Google AdWord, it can start with a social interaction, it can pass through a mommy blog that has relevant content, but it is about understanding that journey and how to optimize that and how all these pieces fit together. So the barriers have really come down.
Right. It's that ability to measure each step and understand the value it's delivering. And that's become more and more prevalent as the whole digital channels matured altogether.
I think that's where affiliate marketing actually has a huge advance on lots of other channels, because that's what we've always done. We've always been based trying to drive conversions, and we've always had to be incredibly measurable.
Yes.
And because we're measurable, we've always had that data, we understand that data, and I think that actually we're really now well placed to take advantage of this growing demand by people for broadly what people consider to be performance marketing. I mean, I still refer to what we do as affiliate marketing. We are the original performance channel. And actually, that whole conversation is now shifting away from just driving quantitative to qualitative. And actually, we've done quantitative for 20 years. And actually, now we're really well placed to advance that whole qualitative conversation.
There's so many conversations we have at the IAB with CMOs around attribution. And, this is a mystery to me, I know how search works, etc. But you guys have been doing, because you've had to prove that the sales work so that you could get your thing to be paid, right? It might have been at quite a basic level, 10 years ago, but surely at a far more sophisticated level now with more sophisticated models. Is that right?
Absolutely true. And it all, I think, started with trying to understand first touch, then last touch, and now it's whatever marketing mix makes sense. And so you've seen things like algorithmic and programmatic attribution come into play to understand what is the actual right model and not just one size fits all.
Yeah. No. Exactly. Prior to now, or in the last couple of years with some of the Google model launching and a couple of others, I think we really struggled because we could never actually map a consumer journey back to an individual global user ID at both an impression and an exit and a sale level. So now those models are looking at every step along the journey and increasingly being able to work in cross-device and other metrics which previously weren't capable of being pulled in.
No.
We now have so much more information available to us, and we can make more intelligent decisions about which channels and which individual publishers and campaigns actually drove the value in that journey.
Right. So that all brings us more up to date with what performance affiliate is. But it's great, so many people are here, it's almost a full house. Why, Kevin, have we now decided to move from smaller seminars into big conference land?
Well, I mean, we've been talking about potentially doing this conference for a little while now. We originally talked about doing it last year. I think that it's actually really interesting when you start to see very traditional media, traditional advertising now trying to put elements of performance around what they do. And actually, it's really starting to resonate, I think. And I think that because we are positioned where we are positioned, we're incredibly well placed to do that. So I think that the timing is probably better than ever. Where I think that this year we have the opportunity to kind of really step change that in terms of actually some people are still trying to get to grips with measuring the actual sales in the first instance. Well, as I say, we've been doing that for years. So now I think our care of duty now is to actually educate the industry about why we transition that through to qualitative measurement, through value metrics in terms of measuring things like lifetime customer, the quality of the customers that are coming through. And what we effectively, hopefully, will be able to do off the back of today and ongoing conversations is build those stronger client relationships where we can start capturing those additional data sets and really position the channel again one step further beyond where still a lot of elements of advertising and marketing are still kind of maybe at the foothills and we're kind of maybe far higher up the mountain.
But but people aren't necessarily aware of that, right? Hence why we need to have conferences like this. UK is what the leading nation on earth for e-commerce and digital ad spend come to that. Sean, here's the thing. Sometimes when affiliate comes up in conversation, inside brands or publishers or agencies, it's slightly senior people dismiss it for some reason, maybe think that junior people or middle managers deal with it. Why has that been the case, and what should we do about it?
I think often it's been, unfortunately, viewed as a bit of a black box from higher up echelons within businesses. But I must admit, we are seeing more and more of a focus, especially from agencies, for example. They're starting to invest more and more into the channel. They've got very big teams, and they're at the point where they can actually assimilate the data and measure that across other channels that they may be working with for a brand as well. So they're not just viewing it very segmented, they're viewing it in comparison with other channels and the value that's delivering. Mm-hmm. So they're getting more data, and I think we're becoming more sophisticated at measuring that data. So there are other tools out there that they're able to plug this data into, like an odometry or a visual IQ, for example, where it's not just now just sitting on its own little silo off to the right. It's actually very much part of the wider, fuller digital mix.
Okay.
As well, I think, so I'm chairing a panel later about, if it is affiliate board issue, and there's some really interesting concepts that have come out of that, I think some of the challenge that I face is actually, I always say affiliate marketing isn't rocket science, but actually it's very complex. Right. And I think there's lots of different elements of it. And I think sometimes senior people within businesses know something's going on, but they don't actually know it's affiliate marketing. There's been loads of time I've talked to someone, they've said, we're doing this really great thing with this website. I'm like, that's affiliate marketing and it's part of that model, but then they're not aware. And I think sometimes because there's lots of elements to it and lots of different publishers, from large publishers to small, sometimes the awareness of that being an affiliate model isn't quite there.
So, but there must be companies whose mainstream digital work is affiliate, where it's a boardroom issue, where on a Monday morning that's what they actually talk about, rather than going, I don't know what that is. Working in the finance industry, for example, Pete, some of those guys must live and breathe this.
A lot of them do. I still think that affiliate marketing is viewed very much as just a sales channel, and I think that from the top down over the years, there's been very few companies I've met that really feel it's much more than a channel to just turn the tap on for sales every time you want to boost up your growth. Yes. And the reality of that is far from that case. In the finance industry, CPAs are absolutely crucial because lifetime value is fundamental to the value of lots of those businesses. So yes. If you look at things like insurance, making sure that you drive the right types of customers so that they don't claim quickly within a short period of time after the conversion is absolutely critical, which not a lot of people, if you're in the finance game, you do, but not a lot of people realise. Also they're looking at things like repeat customers, so is the user going to renew at the end of the first year of a policy? So it's absolutely fundamental to make sure that initial conversion is closed at the correct amount, but also I think it's important to be flexible with how you view that commission. Because actually, if you're getting a more worthwhile consumer through the door, you need to be able to value that long term. Yes. And that's where I think we've been more progressive over the last few years, especially as an industry. Right. Clients are starting to see that maybe if they're a bit more flexible with the commissions that they pay out, and they start to measure the actual campaign objectives against KPIs that make sense for that campaign, it can be a really powerful tool.
Okay.
I think to pick up on something Helen said as well, I think that the one thing that hopefully we will be doing better this year and ongoing is kind of telling stories around what affiliate marketing actually means, so that it actually resonates with people potentially higher up who don't have the time to invest in actually understanding the nuts and bolts of the channel. I think that in a sense, a lot of performance marketing is kind of, now we talk performance marketing, and it obviously covers so many different channels and so many different areas, and it's kind of encroached upon affiliate marketing. And I think we're in a situation now where we want to kind of reclaim some of their territory, these other channels' territory. I think that for us, for example, as a network, for a content affiliate site, that kind of bedrock of an affiliate network, they have to generate something like 22 clicks to actually then get paid for the conversion.
Yeah.
Now, those 22 clicks, there's a huge amount of value in that, but we've never particularly measured what that value looks like. And I think that there's the kind of next stage of where we are with affiliate marketing is actually starting to measure that more holistically across that entire journey, and trying to kind of recognise that there is value there. And if we recognise that value, then we can work in a more sophisticated way.
Yeah. And I think there's an appetite to do that. So I think you said before, why have we put this on now? I think that interest in affiliate marketing has really peaked. We have big publishers coming into the space wanting to work in the affiliate marketing model. I went to a brand a few weeks ago and talked to their brand team about affiliate marketing and about what it can do. So it feels like, I totally agree with Kev, we need to reclaim some of the areas where people are encroaching, but we also need to go out and claim some more. And it's not about, I think it can be read falsely, it's not about just trying to grab budget. It's trying to enable advertisers to work on the affiliate model across all of their business, not just kind of sales acquisition, but brand, their product areas as well. And I think that's a really exciting time for affiliate marketing, and I can see that interest is starting to peak.
Just to jump onto the end there, I think one of the other things that's pushing this is because it's so accountable, because you can actually see the sale that the model's driving.
Yes.
We can be numbers led. So I think it's great we can all be telling these stories, but if you're numbers led, then it gets the ears higher up within the business because it's justified.
I'm interested to know what your guys' experience of the 2009, sorry, if you were in the business then, recession hit big time for the advertising industry in 2009. In the UK, 2 billion of advertising was kind of wiped off structurally. Online still grew a bit, 5%, but we're now entering some other tough times. As we get into 2017, TV budgets are somewhat down or flat. Digital is still, growing well, but there's this element of proof and mixing with other media as well, and proving, how it can work with the whole media plan. So anybody's views on that would be great. Do you also have a sense that more companies are transforming for digital properly? Maybe they had an epiphany a couple of years ago, as digital got so big. So, sorry, that's quite a big question, but take any element of it you like.
One of the biggest things I think that has changed, I've been in marketing many years and a CMO before running Cake, and now Gartner's saying 73% of all marketing leads are responsible for a P&L and revenue.
Right.
That wasn't the case 20 years ago. And so if you've really got P&L responsibility, you have to prove out every day that what you're spending is returning. So I think your previous question, Guy, around boardroom level interest, what we've seen is initially starting in the affiliate channel, we're brought in sometimes to prove that maybe that the affiliate is performing better than the search channel because most of the budget's going to search. And what we end up finding is they fit together much more than their separate channels. And so to get to the board level, it's become, the affiliate manager is now running the search channel or running the social and search and affiliate channels. So I think that focus on P&L level profitability and revenue is really what's driving this at the end of the day.
I think that you mentioned some of the kind of the tough challenges that this year poses. There's a huge amount of uncertainty out there. Economic uncertainty, coupled with from a retailer perspective, certainly on the high street, there's a kind of a significant amount of additional costs coming, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on advertisers. And that's going to put a huge amount of pressure on those advertisers. Now, I think there's kind of various different angles to this. We've looked at the data that we're recording. So we're part of a global network, but looking at it from our UK network perspective. Just working with affiliates that are registered to promote our UK programs. They're not necessarily all based in the UK, but we generate sales from pretty much every country on the planet.
Wow.
And that's kind of indicative, I think, of the UK's very sophisticated e-commerce infrastructure. I think we have the largest e-commerce trade surplus of any nation in the world.
For sure.
And UK brands are still very, very desirable, and I think that if there's a feeling that brands, there is this economic uncertainty within our home territory, then does international offer a really interesting opportunity for those brands that are able to go out there and appeal to international consumers. Coupled with obviously sterling issues that we have. I think that presents really interesting opportunities to brands, and certainly I think that from a UK perspective, we can talk to our UK brands about potentially expanding without necessarily needing to have a physical presence in those territories overseas.
Any discernible change since Black Friday? Everything I read about Black Friday was the online bit, and Debenhams shops were quite. Do you remember that thing? Oh, Debenhams is quiet. Somebody tweeted, but that's literally the stores. But am I right in saying Black Friday was bigger than Boxing Day, and is now become one of the biggest online e-commerce days ever? So what did you guys experience there in terms of turnover and within your business?
We certainly know that it's a huge spike in activity around that whole weekend. I think on Friday we've done something like 10 million conversions in just one day that we tracked, and that's globally, probably across 183 countries. Wow. So not all of those countries are doing Black Friday, but they're able to benefit off the back of that. So we saw a huge spike in activity around that.
It means November is peak now, and not
Yeah.
December.
Right.
And that obviously creates, there's all of these different trends and all of these kind of different events coming along, which are hugely disruptive. And it's very difficult for brands to understand how to get on board with these things. But it's certainly pushing peak earlier and earlier, which kind of then creates uncertainty for December, I think.
It's interesting in finance as well, because coming up to Black Friday, even though it's deals-led, people are looking for loans and credit cards to purchase. So actually we saw a spike in traffic and conversions on the whole, on average across our network for those products before Black Friday.
About half the people that shop on Black Friday are actually shopping for themselves, they're not gifting for, it's not altruistic. They're buying stuff for themselves.
No, I'm sure that's true.
I don't know if anyone else experienced this too, but in China there's something called Singles Day, which is November 11th. Yes. And so it seems like they're coming up with more and more holidays to incite a lot of online spending, but really that season, November 11th, Black Friday, late November, Christmas, and then Chinese New Year now. So we're seeing more volume coming through our network than ever before.
Yeah. Even in UAE, they have it's a Black Friday, it's White Friday.
White Friday.
And it's a huge spike in activity over there as well.
Santi, we talked about how the channel fits in with others. It's quite complex. You've got amazing conversion detail. What's the biggest challenge, though? If I'm a CMO, the biggest challenge for me now, moving into 2017 with affiliate, would you say?
It's funny, I can remember to the day when I was in a board meeting and the head of sales was up just before me, and he brings up this beautiful dashboard, pie charts, bar graphs, talking about his sales territories, performance across the world, Salesforce, the first time I'd ever seen it in the context of a meeting. And I get up directly after with a PowerPoint and a spreadsheet. Yeah. And it was the day the world changed for a marketer, and you really had to understand, now it has to be measurable, you have to understand it. And one of the reasons I think we're all blessed and lucky, we took the most difficult part of marketing first. The performance channel is the most difficult to measure. Typically you don't own either side of the equation. You're trying to reach people that you don't know. It's unavoidable that you're going to find anybody you're looking for. So it's starting with that complexity and now adding something like Google AdWords to it. Well, we already understand CPC. We already understand CPA, cost per lead, cost per install on mobile. So for us now to add these channels, I think we're in a very good position as a performance industry. But as a marketer, then trying to make sense of all that, the first step was to try to break it into silos. I have my search team, my social team, my performance team. Yeah. Those teams need to work as one, because the customer journey doesn't, you don't hand off the journey to each department within a company as you go.
Interesting, because digital used to be a silo within marketing. So when I was at Vodafone, digital was kind of around the corner, and we dealt with them and the website. And the first thing we sold online was a phone cover, I think, and they actually just printed it off and put it in the sales tray for the people who did the postal sales. But I digress. You're now talking about silos within digital.
Absolutely.
And how actually we've now got to pull the whole thing together within the company. Do we sense, digital transformation going on within companies? I'm not just talking about marketing, I'm talking about IT, sales, customer service, the whole shaboodle.
I think people are investing more in technology for sure, so they're interested in being more explorative around that and looking at better targeting functionality and better insight and analysis functionality. I think there are also teams at some clients that I've met that are being quite progressive in the way that they're looking to merge different channels within and sit it all under one team. And by that, I'm predominantly talking about brand versus acquisition. that sort of debate that's gone on for the last half a decade around, is it possible to merge DR and brand? And some of them are doing an okay job of doing that, but it's really difficult because structurally you can't merge those two things together. Or at least very easily.
No.
And it raised a really interesting question, actually, which was, do you need to actually bring those teams into one? I think metaphorically you do.
Yeah.
But initially, as an interim phase, could we look at making certain movements to try and bridge that gap without taking a full structural change?
Yeah.
So it could be, for instance, something like, at the moment, we're buying brand awareness and share of voice campaigns for our clients on affiliates, traditional affiliate sites.
Wow.
So comparison sites will buy big tenancy banners and display placements. We'll buy CPCs, invest CPC budgets. And that's what clients are willing to do now through the affiliate model, so optimizing back to that CPA.
Right.
And likewise, as Helen mentioned earlier on, there are other more traditional sites which would normally only sell their media on CPM, big bulk buys, which are now looking to build unique content. We have got a discussion going on with the Telegraph at the moment. They've launched some CPA links for us through their content for our financial clients. So I feel like there's this merger going on anyway. The boundaries are becoming less defined between brand and acquisition. And I think if we could start to make to do some tests, so brand teams could start to think about doing some tests for awareness and share of voice on affiliate sites.
Yes.
What you may find, and I think it's probably a likelihood, is that these affiliates, these people that have spent their entire careers focused on targeting very, very carefully consumers in the right way, may be able to outcompete your traditional brand media channels on the same metrics when you measure them against each other. And that's what I want to see. I don't know if anyone's actually done that or not, but I'd love to see it.
If that's where the consumer actually ultimately goes ahead and purchases the thing, then actually a kind of brand performance site would probably make sense. We've just got a matter of seconds, but I think we worked out in the back of a fag packet before we sat down that these guys between them drive something like between 5 and 6 billion worth of sales. So I'd love to know from you individually what you'd like the guys here to walk away. If you had one big message for them as you sit here now, let's go down the line, Kevin.
Okay.
So Sean has loads of time to think about it.
Right, as I've got seconds. I think if people just go away feeling a little bit kind of invigorated about the channel and there's kind of a collective desire to want to share and be more open and invest more time in working with your partners, be it a network, a SaaS platform, or whoever you're working with, just to kind of have some new invigorated conversations around how to better share data and come up with better conclusions.
More open conversations.
Yeah.
Helen?
I think very similar. I think if people can get out of today some new ideas, as Kev said, but I think really to think about how you elevate affiliate marketing within your businesses. So how do you kind of really push it up to senior and board level to say, this is a great model, we should be doing more of this? I think that would be great.
Agreed. Pete?
I think I'd like people to go away and be inquisitive and try and intelligently research new opportunities, new ways to spend on with affiliate partners. I'd love to see a diversification in the types of budgets that get put into this channel.
As per your last point,
As per my last point,
yeah. Okay, thanks, Pete. Santi?
I think if I had to leave with one thing, it would be that all marketers need to behave and respond like performance marketers. If you're going to spend money on digital media, it better perform, and you better be able to measure that performance.
All marketers behave like performance marketers. Sure.
Yeah, I'd agree. Elevation, be numbers-led, be devil's in the detail. The only way you're going to elevate it is with the numbers. And also have an open mind. Affiliate isn't just cashback vouchers. It's expanded so much more than that. And it is more about partnerships than anything else. I think brands that certainly we're seeing now are more open to sharing customers between other non-vertical specific brands, and how you can grow that share of the pie and get more eyeballs on screen that way. So
perfect. Well, I think we're going to hear a lot more about that today. It's been a great pleasure for me to come back, my special request to chair this panel, and please put your hands together for Kevin, Helen, Pete, Santi and Sean. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you.